Aloha, Cravenites. I'm Lynn McCree. I played Maureen Prescott in Wes Craven's Scream trilogy. And you're watching Craven Something Scary.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, visitors, subscribers, my patrons, and of course, my channel members. And you guys know who you are. Yes, the amazing Cravenites. Welcome to Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Guys, tonight is a stream that I've been looking so forward to. I know you have as well. Having a very special guest on tonight to talk Scream 7. And this is a guy that he is a true friend. We have, man, you've seen us together on the Lethal Collective. For those of you who go back a little bit, and if you don't know what the Lethal Collective is, it's okay. The site's still up and running, and you know what? We keep toying around with the reunion. Stay tuned. But you've also may have seen him here on streams like tonight. We've had a few of those as well whenever we get the opportunity. And tonight is one of those nights. And so, guys, before I bring him on, I just want to, I'm going to drink water because my mouth is just not wanting to cooperate. Hold on. Okay. Before we get started, just want to remind everyone to send in, of course, your ideas, thoughts, and theories of Scream 7. And we will get to as many as possible, but we're already about to hit 40 folks here right now. So it's going to be very difficult, and I already know we won't hit everyone's question or comment because Jake and I are only streaming for 1 hour tonight, so it's a very limited time. So what I recommend is if you're able to do it, and you want to do it, of course, send in a super chat. I promise you this, all super chats go to the very front of the line, and you will get your comment on screen, and Jake and I will discuss it. And I promise you we won't end the stream until everyone's comment who sends a super chat is addressed. Also, if you're looking at the bottom of your screen right now, you've noticed the ticker running since we started. I'm doing a 1 hour, guys, and a 1 hour instant super chat reward challenge. And tonight's challenge is, and you hear me say instant because if we get 10 super chats between now and 8 p.m. Central, that's 9 p.m. Eastern, then the instant reward will be Jake and I going an additional 30 minutes on the live stream. We will go all the way to 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. So guys, if you would like to have that extra half hour with Jake and me to go over Scream Talk with you guys, start sending in your super chat. You see it in the chat box. There's a goal at the top. You see where we're at. And if we hit that number of 10, we're going another half hour because that's just what we're going to do. So guys, this is an instant challenge. I hope you enjoy it, but the power is in your hands and we'll just leave it to you. All right, what you want to do. So guys, without further ado, please welcome back to the channel, my friend, amazing content creator, all around cool dude who doesn't even need friends because he has horror movies. You know what I'm talking about. It's Killjoy Jake. What's up, brother?
What's up, Steven? How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Honestly, look at us here, man. You're in Ohio. I'm down in Texas. We got people from all over the planet, Earth on the chat, in the chat. And we're here together to talk Scream 7. I mean, how can you beat this, dude? This is great.
You
I mean,
can't.
Great.
You can't. It can't get better than this. Come on now.
Seriously, I know, man, for real. And before we dive in tonight to our topic, which is Scream 7, I just want to acknowledge that Jeff Hill has just gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Jeff, man, you are such an amazing pillar of this community, and you're so generous, man. And I just want to tell you, you make a difference. I hope you know that. You make a difference here on this channel and in this community. Thank you for always being here and being so faithful as a channel member as well. It just makes an impact that you'll never really know. Thank you for that, Jeff. And if you're here and you've been gifted that membership, please let Jeff know that you appreciate him and that, and you're going to get to be a part of this month's private members only watch party, which, by the way, I got a poll running. Check this out, Jake. I'm letting the members choose. The choices are Psycho 1960, Sleepaway Camp,
Okay.
and Talk to Me. It's all over the board.
Wow. Okay. Wow. We're hitting on some like generational hits like all over the place. Okay. I'm into that. I hope I'm rooting for I'm young, so I got to root for the newest one. I got to root for Talk to Me. But Psycho's a classic, man. Stands the test of time.
It's
so
does.
Good.
It's so good. And do you know, Jake, like in conversations here on live streams and offline with folks, do you know there's a lot of people in our horror community, I think the greater horror community, that have never seen it. They just know about it, but they've never seen it.
It's crazy. I mean, we wouldn't have Scream, we wouldn't have Halloween. Like all these movies we talk about and love nowadays, they would be nothing without Psycho. I mean, oh my God. It's a must see. It's a must see horror film.
Must see. And we're going to be, and we, depending on the poll, it's got a huge lead right now. It's actually in the lead. So be sure you guys go to my posts section on my channel. You'll see it where it says post, a community post, and vote. But you have to be a channel member. Otherwise, you can't vote. So yet another reason, Jake, to become a Cravenite tonight and join as a channel member. And you can vote for this month and movie, and you get to watch it with us. It'll be a lot of fun. Real quick, Jake, Jeff Hill also coming in with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Jeff. Setting up the countdown to 10 as it is. And I appreciate that, brother. And oh my gosh, Jeff, also sending in a $2 super chat. Thank you, man. Goodness gracious. Much appreciated, brother. You know that. Also, Erica is sending a $2 super chat. Says, hey, y'all, don't forget to like this stream. Thank you, Erica. That's very important because, Jake, it lets them know that they're enjoying us and what we're talking about. And what else does it do, Jake? Because I know you stream all the time. It helps the stream get seen by more people, right? Because of the algorithm. I guess I just talked over you. I've talked for you. Sorry, I was going to let you answer. I just kept going.
No, you're good. I mean, any sorts of interaction with the stream, it tells YouTube, people are digging this, so maybe more people should see it. So, yeah, man, it's always important.
Very, man, very. So, Erica, thank you for that. Much appreciated. And let's just see here. I'm almost going to catch up real quick before we get, because once we get going, we're going to be rolling. Super Tenor, real quick, has been a channel member for 13 months. Look at that, guys. Over a year now of faithful support every single month. Super Tenor, you're awesome, brother. You know how much I love you and I appreciate you. And keep sending those clips, man. Super Tenor sends me like clips almost every day that could possibly be super chat clips. It's so great.
Some goofy clips? Those are my favorite.
That's awesome.
That's why I keep coming back. I want more spicy mustard clips, man.
Oh, we might be getting one with all these super chats. I'm gonna play some clips. So,
all right.
If you want to see the spicy mustard, man, I can make that happen. I absolutely can do that.
Y'all better get us to our goal. I'm dying here.
Exactly. How you go? I tell you what. when we hit 10 super chats tonight, because I believe we're going to hit it. Good. I think we're going to hit it. And if we do, or when we do, we're going to play Spicy Mustard for Jake. We're going to play Spicy Mustard Man at 10. How about that?
Perfect, dude.
Oh, Super Tuner. Thank you, brother. Paula's $2 super chat says, let's extend. There we go. All right. Appreciate it, Paula. All right. And Dana, I see your super chat. Fantastic. I'm getting to you in just a second. Talking Star Wars. What's up, man? Good to see you. I was sending $1 super chat to help out. Appreciate that, guys. Thanks, man. And by the way, I do want to say now there were over 40 people. Blanket hello to everyone. Won't be able to call everyone's name out just because of time, but just want to let you guys know that I'm literally scrolling, and I do know you're all here. So thank you guys for being here tonight to welcome my guest and have Scream Talk with us. All right. Let's see. And Super Tenor with a $2 super chat. Thank you, man. Love you, man. Love you. Man, I'm not even drinking. Well, hey, there you go, buddy. It's a sober super chat. And Jake, before we dive in, how about for all these super chats, let's play a clip. Let's play a couple quick clips. What do you say?
I'm all about clips.
You know, there's this rumor that has been going, or not really a rumor, but just this tradition, urban legend maybe, that dogs will always defeat cats in battle. Like if they were ever to go into a showdown, dog's going to have the upper hand. Mm-hmm. Well, I found a case in point that actually challenges that, and we're going to see a reversal of expectations. Check it out, guys.
Took him down.
That
brutal.
Cat owned him, dude. Owned the dog. Totally. Not even close. Oh my gosh. And you know, Jake, you know, for single fellas out there, and perhaps even some single ladies who are looking for a good quality girlfriend. You know, you want to date someone that you meet that's a really good people. And for my next super chat clip, and then we're going to get on with Scream, I promise. But Jake, I found a place that folks can actually get an opportunity to look at some candidates. And here are some ladies that are very excited to meet potentially single guys out there, single ladies. We'll see. You check it out, see what you think.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I live in the West End Pretend Valley. Pardon me.
Hi, I'm Jana. I'm looking for... I'm not sure.
Hello, my name is Ellen. Some people call me sexy. Others say I'm sensuous.
Wow, there's some candidates, Jake.
I just loved the lady holding the chocolate cake the entire time. Like I have 1,000 questions, and that's all of them. Fantastic, yes. Fantastic stuff there.
It's like she's showing the cake to show, like, hey, I can bake. Like, you know, if you got a sweet tooth, I'm your lady. I mean, maybe so. She clearly didn't know what she was looking for, so maybe the cake was speaking for her in that case.
I mean, the chocolate cake was doing some things for me, Craven. I'll be honest.
You don't like chocolate cake, right?
Right. I mean, come on now.
I tell you, especially if you get that kind of cake where it's freshly baked and it's super moist.
Oh, the chocolate chips in the cake, though?
In the cake, and dude, that's next level, bro.
That's next level.
Like, that literally will melt in your mouth. It's hard to beat that. My gosh. Oh, and Jeff says some ice cream to go with it. Dude, that's like friggin', that's just shut the front door right there. That's always a nice addition. Are you an ice cream with a cake guy, or do you like just cake?
Yes. Yeah, without a doubt, yes. Oh my, we all came to this stream hungry. That's what I'm taking away from all
Apparently,
this.
I think that's the case. Yeah, you see, Jeff says, now I want cake, so to start with. Exactly. And Destin said, I'll just stay single. Well, there you go. Man. See, it's not for everybody, right? You gotta
chocolate cake's not for everybody, you know. Sometimes it's vanilla, sometimes it's some other flavor. There you go.
That's true.
Cake is happiness.
Cake is happiness. There you go, Stella. You got it. All right, so we're gonna get into it. So Jake, so much going on. so much going on with Scream 7. There's so many paths and roads you could go down here with Scream 7. But since we talked last, we got the confirmation now that Dewey's returning as well. And which, as you probably saw in there, I didn't do a video on it, but I'm sure that you saw it actually was supposed to have been a surprise. David Arquette in an interview was like, that was supposed to be a surprise, but someone leaked it, spoiled it, whatever. So they just went ahead and announced it. But I'd like to ask you your opinion on the return of these characters. Now, I know you're on the Stu train, and I know that you got a permanent seats locked in for you now. And we'll save that talk for another time. But what do you think Dewey meant by this? I have some ideas, but I want to see what your thoughts are about Dewey coming back, especially with that. Yeah, what do you think?
Well, Craven, admittedly, I'm a little rusty. It's been Final Destination Central over on the page for a little while. Well, lots of excitement for that one. So I cannot wait. But I will say in terms of the Dewey stuff, from how I recall it all unfolding, is just like it kind of started off. It was like just a random announcement. Like I remember it just kind of came out of nowhere along with the rest of the other ones that we got this past. I want to say this was like January, February time period.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
We got a lot of surprising cast updates around this time, and I just was kind of like, what was going through my brain when it all first came out was, we're doing a flashback. We're doing some sort of flashback to going back to when all these characters were alive, maybe sometime in like 95, early 96, some sort of flash to before the events of the original Scream is where my brain was going. It's like, it's not just like, because if it was just Stu, it was just this, whatever, different story. But we have all these characters from the original coming back. What's happening? What is going on here? So Roman's back, it's like, what is all this? So my thoughts were flashback immediately, but then we got word that it was Courtney Cox that was like very insistent upon somehow getting David back. So now I'm really starting to think that maybe all of these characters are going to flash in at different points. It's not going to just be like one big Halloween Kills style flashback scene to open this movie up, but on the contrary, maybe a bunch of different flashes to the past with something unraveling, sneaking up from the past to create a story nowadays that maybe we don't get all the answers to initially, but it's something that slowly unravels. That's, again, I feel like we're still at that stage where it's like, what the hell is going on? I have no idea. So it's kind of anyone's guess, but that's where I am mentally.
It makes sense, man. Like, because, with Roman and Stu back, and I think we may have touched on this on our last stream together. The first thing I thought of was, of course, flashbacks, right? That's and I kind of hope it is, and I'm gonna, we can get more into this if we want, but the Dewey announcement, I'm like, wait a second now, how is Dewey going to play into this flashback? What does that mean? Like, what are we going to see from Dewey that we haven't seen before? This is going to be, because you don't do a flashback. I shouldn't say this because I guess you could, but my thought is, you don't do a flashback to have a same scene that we've already seen before.
Right. There'd be no point to that.
There's no point to it. So, like, to my mind, if you're going to do a flashback, you've got to give us new information, Jake. Do something, as Randy said. We learned something that we thought was true, but was not true, or vice versa. So it's just interesting to theorize. And like you say, we could spend all night theorizing on where this could go. But do you have any hopes? I mean, because obviously we don't know. But do you have any personal hopes? And if you don't, say, not really, I'm neutral. That's fine. But do you have any personal hopes for Dewey's comeback flashback scene? Do you have any thoughts about what that could be around? Are there timeline for Dewey?
Well, I mean, it sounds like, based on what we heard from Courtney Cox in particular, it sounds like she's really like doing everything she can to get her ex-husband back in this one, based on some interviews she's done. So it sounds, and like, I think the way it was worded specifically was that they wanted to test this chemistry again on the big screen. So it's like, it's definitely going to be some sort of flashback between these two characters. But again, it begs that same question. It's like, what are we going to learn from that? You know what I mean? How are we going to have a scene like that is actually going to add to the plot? And I don't know, because at first, where my mind went with all these announcements was, oh, they're going to show us Maureen Prescott's murder. Maybe Dewey was there that night,
Right.
and we could actually see Roman, Stu, and Billy all working together for the first time, which would be cool. It's only ever been talked about, but like actually seeing it on screen, that might change everything we know. I mean, there might be a totally different dynamic to it than what we think, and that could be purposefully changed with a scene like that. So, could we be bringing all these characters back for that? I'd say, okay, yeah, that could be the case. But then there's this that I feel like just throws a whole monkey wrench into it. Like, how are we going to have a scene with Dewey and Gale again that adds to that, or reinvents something from the past we thought wasn't true or whatever? I don't know.
I don't either. It's interesting, but I think you and I are both on the same page that we're at least going to see some new information. We're going to learn something out of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I like what you said earlier too. Like it may not necessarily be just one flashback scene. We could have 2 or 3 just spattered in with the storyline, depending where we're at. Which I'm cool with that too. I mean, the more I see them, the better. I mean, it's the way I look at it. But now I also, Jake, will say that my source that I have that is really plugged into things, and they've given me everything they've ever given me has been spot on. And they told me recently that, because I asked them about Billy, I said, you think Skeet's coming back? And they told me that everyone involved with the project with Scream 7 that he's talked to, they've all told him the same thing, that they are pretty much positive that he was locked in over a long time ago to come back, and that they're not going to announce it. They're not going to announce Skeet. So I think they're holding, for whatever reason, they're holding him back to announce. And if that's the case, which I believe, again, we'll wait and see, but I believe I have no reason to doubt. So assuming it's true, who else could be held back? Do you think there's a chance that we might get Jill as a flashback or some other way in the movie, or not?
I don't know. Again, I'm still like, I think I need to see footage before I'm sure of anything, but with Roman, it makes me think, okay, it's got to be something to do with Maureen because of everything we know about him. And I'm also just thinking, like, I'm thinking about that whole storyline. I'm thinking about things that maybe Kevin Williamson doesn't necessarily love, that maybe he wants to polish over a bit in his. You got to think of. I think he might think. I don't know if he hates Scream 3 or not, but I've heard him talk about it in interviews, and he's not necessarily over the moon about the film. So I think he wants to. Maybe he just wants to reshape it in his own way. I mean, he's not necessarily writing this one, but he's in creative control. I'm sure he's going to have some sort of influence over that, right? So I could totally see. Like, it makes a lot of sense to me if I'm Kevin Williamson to basically rewrite the past a little bit, make it, make my franchise the way that I want it to be. If there was something I didn't like about it, especially in the film that he was essentially kicked off of because the Weinsteins didn't love his script, right? So right. I would want, like, if I'm him, I would love to redo that. that's what I think it definitely is, and I think he likes the Jill story the way it is, because again, that's kind of his return to the series back with Scream 4. I don't see him needing to change anything there, I guess. Where I do feel like there's stuff that he would want to correct with the Roman story.
With the Romans, yeah. Well, and also another possibility that I thought about too with Roman is because I'm with you. My first thought was we're going back to the Maureen Prescott. We're gonna see what went down, or how it was, some new information about it. However, what if the flashbacks regarding Roman is not going back to Maureen, but is actually about Stu and going back to the Scream 3 timeline? And what if we see that Stu is alive and is an accomplice with Roman, because they already have a relationship going back to the first film? And I also thoroughly believe that Roman was there in Woodsboro in Scream 1, in the bushes at Tatum's house when they were on the porch, in the grocery store when he's going down the aisle looking at him. But that aside, what do you think about the possibility that we might get a Scream 3 flashback where we learn that Stu is alive in Scream 3? Now, this would have to happen towards the end of the movie because it's a huge spoiler. because it's because that will tell us he's alive now, or perhaps. But no, I'll leave it there. Just any thoughts on the Roman Stu Scream 3 timeline potential?
I definitely think there's a lot of potential for Stu's influence to be felt over this film. I mean, Matthew Lillard is popping in terms of horror right now. I mean, no matter what you're a fan of in the horror genre, there's no denying that Five Nights at Freddy's is one of the biggest things right now. I mean, to say that Blumhouse had one of their biggest hits in 2023 is insane. I mean, this is a company that sort of reinvigorated the genre in the early 2010s with, movies like Insidious and Sinister and all these great flicks. And now they latch themselves onto one of the most popular video game IPs, get a huge star from the late 90s and early thousands to kind of come back and have a big role like this. Not that he went anywhere, but I mean, it's a big role, and he hasn't really done he's done other stuff. He's been other places. Didn't he just bring out? He just had like a tequila brand or something come out or some crazy shit.
It's
right?
a whiskey. It's a whiskey. Brand.
That's what it is.
Kentucky whiskey. Yeah,
that's so cool. But point being, Matthew Lillard is like having this renaissance, this resurgence. Of course, they're gonna find any way to get him into this storyline if possible. So I definitely see his influence being all over this film, and Stu being talked about a lot in this one, kind of in a similar way to 6.
Yeah, man. Bingo. Agreed. And it's just the exciting part is just going to be watching it unfold and seeing how it's done and what's really going to be done in the movie. That's great. And I'm avoiding spoilers, dude, like you would not believe. Like, it's like, I'm like, please, everyone who hears this, we got 60 people. If you hear my voice, please do not send me links to spoilers, please. I know you mean well. I do. Like, you're wanting to share the information, and I appreciate the thought. I seriously do. But I just want to let you guys know, because you may not know this, I am avoiding real spoilers. So a lot of content creators I will not watch their videos. Anything that is sus, right? That could be a spoiler. I'm not going there. And Jake, I know I love your videos and your streams because you protect the movie too. I think we're both protectors as well as Night, as well, and Fade for that matter. But I know that you protect the spoilers too, because we want to be surprised. Like, even though we're content creators and we're like diving into this to ridiculous levels, which are great, we don't want to know everything, right? We actually want to go and be surprised too, like everybody else. So,
and I think there's a line, you know what I mean? There's a line to be drawn. There is such thing as too far with all this stuff, and you got to just be like, okay, no. Like, I've seen some stuff for the new Final Destination just from the last like week or so where I'm like, I'm not talking about that. Like, I'm not going to put that out publicly. Like, I can't, and I promise you I won't say it here. I know I'm walking right up to the line, but no. Yep. It's just like it shocks me that there's like people who claim to be fans of movies and then put that stuff out. Like, there's some like I put a video out today where I talked a little bit about like an unreleased final trailer, and there's like a few shots where I'm like, this is interesting, this is fun. We can come up with some theories, but nothing is definite, nothing is certain. That's okay to talk about, in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with like, oh, there's a weird shot in here that this might mean something, but there's like literally people sharing videos of how certain characters die, and I'm like, that's no fun. Like, I don't want to know that before I go into the theater, Bro, that's wild to me. So
yeah, I can't. Look, to each their own. But I'm with you. I don't understand it. As a content creator, I feel it's really irresponsible. That's just my opinion. I'm not trying to get controversial. But again, everybody has a vision for their own channels, and I respect that. They have the right. That's fine. But you know what? I also have the right to not go click play. And I'm exercising I'm pleading the fifth by not clicking, because I don't want to know it, Jake. I don't. Yeah. Let's get back to the chat, because we have had some super chats. And guys, we have hit our super chat goal. Jake, they did it in 30 minutes, just a half hour. We're there. Extra 30 minutes tonight. So now, guess what, Jake? Instead of only having 30 minutes left, we're going for another hour.
Look at that. Awesome? Let's go.
You guys made it happen. Thanks to everyone. I appreciate that. And also, I didn't mention this earlier. I want to give a shout out to my moderators, May and Julie and Val. Thanks to you guys for being here and moderating the chat. You guys work hard, and I appreciate it. And thank you tonight for keeping this environment and atmosphere as it should be. And that's awesome. And that's hard to do with over 60 people. It's a lot of people. So thank you so much for that, guys, for doing a great job. And all of you guys, especially my Cravenites, please shout out to Julie and to Mayanne and Val for the work that they do here to help us have a great experience when we stream. All right. So let's go back to Super Chats, guys. Feel free to keep them in. Remember, now that we're over 60 people, guys, it's going to be hard to get to many at all without Super Chats, because it's just, you know how it is, Jake. You live stream all the time. It's difficult, man. You just can't keep up.
You can't make everyone happy. I try to, though.
You do, and I do as well. But it just doesn't, That's why we say don't take it personal. Like, this is not the last live stream about Scream 7. I promise you. We got almost a year, so keep coming back. It's going to happen. But Dana, what's up, Dana? Sending $5 into the channel. Thank you for that. Can we please talk about how we think they are going to address Sam and Tara's characters in Scream 7, or if we think they will not say anything? Very great question. I have thoughts, but Jake, as always, I'll let you go first on this.
I hope that they show these characters the same amount of respect as they did Sidney Prescott in Scream 6. They have a reason for her being gone somewhere, and that's all we need to do. I would be upset if they said nothing. I would hope that they would say, especially because if the Core 4 just wasn't in this movie at all, then I would need no mention. But we have Chad and Jasmine, Mindy. I couldn't. That's how long it's been. That's how long it's been, Craven. The Meeks Martin twins. There we go. See, I redeemed myself a little bit there. They're here. Why are they here and Sam and Tara are not? I need an explanation, frankly. If we don't have that, I'm just gonna be like, sounds kind of like there's some animosity behind that. Spyglass. What the hell? So I hope we get some. I really do hope we get some sort of respect towards those characters.
Yeah, and to your point, the fact that they're bringing back Chad and Mindy, there has to be that, that means that 5 and 6 are canon with the timeline. And so it has to be addressed. And I think it could be something as simple as, Mindy and Chad are talking to Sydney and Gail and saying, hey, are they just sitting around having a coffee? All right. They're talking, just catching up. And they drop a thing like, Tara and Sam are doing great. They decided to go, I don't know, Jake. I'm having, somewhere. They decided to go somewhere and just chill out for a while. And, but we stay in touch. That's all they got to say. And that leaves the door open for the future if they ever want to go back there, or if they don't, at least it addresses their absence at the very least, right? And I think that's what I want. I want them to acknowledge them and tell us something. Yeah, just something.
Because it's the same situation as 6 all over again. It's like you have characters that would be around Sydney. You have characters now that would be around Sam and Tara. You know what I mean? If you're going to say, oh, Sydney's hiding in a cabin somewhere, someplace safe, or whatever, whatever general thing that they threw in there for 6, when we're talking from Gail's perspective, I say do the same thing with Chad and Mindy. I mean, if you're going to show that kind of respect there, show it here as well, I would say. And especially after, I mean, it's so bizarre what's been going on with Scream, isn't it? I mean, like we had the pay dispute with Nev, which sucked. And then Melissa gets fired. It's just like, what the hell is what is going on? So I just hope that there's a level of respect with these characters. We handle that situation well, especially if you're going to, you're essentially, let's be real here. Chad and Mindy are coming back. This is an attempt. Let's call a spade a spade. We're throwing these characters in there so that we can pull the fans of 5 and 6 back into the theaters for 7. Maybe we're dragging them by the collars of their shirts, but we're still trying to do it. So I say show some respect for the characters that will be absent from this one that a lot of younger fans have latched onto.
Absolutely, you said it. We just said it very well, my friend. That's exactly right. Dana, thank you again for the super chat. Great question. And, it'll be interesting to see how they do it, but I feel confident that they're going to do something. It's something for sure. All right. Super tenor with a $2 super chat. Ellen is sexy and sensuous. Hola. Okay, buddy. Gosh, super tenor is crazy. I love him. Thank you, brother. Let's see here. Okay, Jeff Hill sending in a $5 super chat. Thank you again, Jeff. This is my hope. Dewey is going to be in a flashback, and they're going to react to the scene of his death, and hope they're going to reveal that it is Stu. Oh, okay. Scream 5 that Stu is the one that killed Dewey. Yeah. And Jake, I think you probably know where I stand on this, and we may disagree on this one, and that's totally completely cool. But I do think it was Stu. I just do, man, because with my theory track line, right? I think it all started with Stu with Scream. Everything in 5 started with Stu running the dreaded ad. He's in control of it. He's recruiting potential Ghostface killers. He recruited Jason and Greg in New York. See, it's all over the country. And I do believe that the only death in the movie, the only one that is unique to all the others outside of the gunshot by Amber, outside of that, though, this is the only murder where it matches exactly how Stu described gutting someone to Sydney in Scream 1. You get the, growing his sternum straight up, body organs falling out. I mean, to me, that was a signal that, yeah, Stu is involved, and it's an honor to finally get rid of you. And that's why I think that line fits. A lot of people say, oh, that doesn't make sense if it's Stu. I disagree. I could see why it makes sense that it would fit for Amber, but I also see Stu saying it's an honor, and he's like, you're gone after all these years, you're gone. So that's how I view that scene. So I jumped ahead of you, but I just wanted to throw my thoughts out first. I agree with Jeff. I would love to see that. Tell us your thoughts on Dewey's death and the possibility that maybe it was Stu.
I think it's almost kind of fun to say that Stu's been like poking in and out of movies like this whole time or something. Maybe just getting one off whenever he hears there's a new Ghostface. It's fun to talk about. I just, for me, I think it takes away a lot from that third act, which I think has its issues, especially in 5. But one of my favorite things about it is everything with Mikey Madison. I mean, she's just given one of my favorite Ghostface performances in the entire series. And when she says, I can't remember the line specifically, but she's just like taunting Gail, saying all that stuff about how I killed Dewey and stuff, and it's like, oh, fuck you. That's what I want to say that to her face in that moment. And I feel like if she didn't actually do that, it just takes all the momentum out of that scene. It sucks all that out, and I would hate for that not to be true. I think it might ruin yet another element to 5. Because I think Craven, like 5 is one that's really diminished for me as time has gone on. I still like it. I still enjoy it quite a bit. But there are some things about it, especially that third act, that I'm just not as crazy about nowadays.
Same. It's my least favorite sequel. I'm not going to back behind me. I'm going to be straight up about it. I always am. But I still like the movie. I watched it again the other day. It had been a long time. But all of those things that I don't like about it just keep getting bigger. It's like when I rewatch it, I'm like, oh yeah. And it's a shame because it just, it didn't have to be that way. I think it was just too many new people trying to bring the old together, cram everything in. And that's kind of how it feels when I watch it again. It's just like we're stuffing as many folks in this suitcase as we can. And they got them in, but to what effect? That's the thing for me. Some of the choices they made. I'm with you, man. Jeff, thank you, brother, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Great question and theory and thought. Also want to say welcome back to the inner circle of the cult of Craven. Erica is back, and I know there's a way for you to set it up to auto renew. Erica had mentioned that she had joined, but it didn't auto renew. I don't know how to do it. I hate to say that. I don't. I know that if Val is here, I believe Val and Julie may know too, but there is a way to to set it up in your settings, Jake, for auto renewal. I just don't remember how. So, Erica, if anyone here in the chat, anybody in the chat knows how that works, any of my Cravenites, please let Erica know. So that way it'll just continue every month. You didn't have to think about it. And Erica, I appreciate you renewing. Seriously though. All right. Star Wars, talking Star Wars, $2 super chat. When do you think we'll see the first teaser? Okay, so Jake, what do you think? We've got a February 27th release. We know there's going to be a teaser and a regular trailer coming out. That's typical. So when do you think the first one, that little short, less than a minute long, usually teaser trailer comes out?
I'm thinking about how we did the last two movies, and it really makes me question if it's going to be a similar marketing campaign or not. I look back at the rest of Radio Silence's catalog, and they've always had these like just super over the top and elaborate marketing campaigns for like all their flicks. Devil's Due notably had like this ridiculous like prank stunt that they did in New York City, which I don't know if you've ever seen before, but it's hilarious.
No, I haven't.
They like went around with like a carriage, like it was like a creepy old lady like walking around with the carriage, and like this demon baby would pop out and scare people. It was great. It was hilarious. But they brought that same energy with Screams 5 and 6, and I don't know if that was, again, I don't know if that's the director's influence, but they've just always had really elaborate marketing campaigns for pretty much all their movies. Like Abigail's really one of the only ones that didn't have that energy, and it didn't do as well, which is crazy.
That's true.
But 5 and 6, like even before we saw the trailer, there was some like crazy stuff that they were putting out there on the social media campaign, and I hope that same energy is brought to 7. I fear that it'll be different though, because we don't have Radio Silence around. It might just be like a typical, 3 months out, we get a trailer, then maybe some more stuff along the way, and then the movie drops. But I liked all the events. I mean, even for Scream 5, dude, that TikTok account, I mean, that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
They had like a character, like a freshly made character living in Woodsboro during the events of 5. And she was kind of like, trying to figure out the mystery herself. They were like teasing scenes from the movie. I think like the last thing she posted was getting killed at the party by one of the ghost faces. And it's like, that's so what? That's like the coolest. That was dope to me. So I hope we can bring that same energy back to this. Honestly, I think we'll probably see the first trailer in December would be my guess. I could see it coming out on the anniversary of the original Scream, like December 20th.
Oh, that's a great idea, man. It really seems fitting, doesn't it, that they would do that? I mean, and now let me ask you this: are you thinking that for the teaser, and then the full-blown trailer like in late January? Or are you thinking December 20th for like the 2-minute trailer, like the big one they release?
Yeah, because I think we could see a teaser before. We don't have a release date for this film, but dude, Thanksgiving 2 is said to be coming out this year. It's not coming out in any other time but November.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
I think the teaser releases with that, like a little 1 minute, something, and then we get a full on trailer in December. That's my guess. Don't hold me to it.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. No, it does. And they're both Spyglass films.
Right.
So anyone that goes to see Thanksgiving 2, you're going to have a trailer. The teaser trailer is going to be in there if they've released it, right? Like that'll be, every single theater will have it. So yeah, man. All right. Great question. And I'm also going to chime in basically with Jake. I think the earliest we would get a teaser is October. I think November is probably more like it. And it does make sense. So, yep.
I want it like right now, though.
Right? I do too. I do too. Give it to us. Oh man, I hope they announce the date before it comes out. So, because I'm planning to be up at, I don't care what time. Last time it was 8 a.m. for Scream 6 trailer drop, and I remember being up, set up, going live. There's like 250 people in the live stream, Jake. It was insane for that reaction. We all watched it together, 3, 2, 1, go kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was such a great experience. I want to feel that experience again. And I hope that they'll not just surprise us. And I mean, even if they do, I still won't watch it till we set up the live stream. So either way it works, but it was cool knowing ahead of time, right? So we could like set up the stream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stella G, thank you. So just because we need one more, Stella, thank you. Real quick, couple more super chats, Jake, and then we'll get back to it as well. Wow. DM Haynes sending in a $20 super chat tonight. Thank you. That is so generous of you. Says, good evening, gentlemen. How nice would it be to get a Scream 7 and 8 with a Stu reveal and escape at the end of 7, leading to an 8th installment where we know he's active as the killer. Would be great to see a 2+ runtime also. 2 hours plus runtime also. Oh man. Okay. A lot to unpack here. So, Jake, I'll set it up for you, then I'll come back and give you my thoughts. So, I don't know why, but I just have this feeling Spyglass signed Melissa and Tara, or what I'm talking about, Jenna and Melissa, to a 2-year movie deal. They were signed up for 5 and 6, no contract after. And they did that initially at the beginning with 5. So they knew they had 2 movies coming. What if Spyglass, if that's like, maybe that's how Gary Barber likes to negotiate, as much as I despise the guy. But could you imagine, what if he's locked in Nev and Gail and Kevin Williamson to do a 2-movie deal, and then we have a 7 and a guaranteed 8? I'm going to lay that down this foundation. What do you think about that? It's number one as a possibility. What's your opinion? Do you think they did that? We don't know. And then what do you think about this cliffhanger ending where we know Stu's alive and we got to wait a whole year to wait and see what happens in 8? What do you think about all that?
The contract thing is so odd to me because, when I think when we all got out of 5, we were all like, that was a one and done. Like that's at least where my thoughts were. Like that felt like such an open and shut case. You know what I mean? And then 6 to me feels like the same thing, like also feels open and shut. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it is continuing some elements from 5. But I almost felt like if they never made anything else after 5, like that would have been like almost mentally the plan. So that contract thing has always just been like so odd to me. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I 100% believe all that. But what I will say is that if they are doing something with 7 and 8, I think they maybe have a little more. There's it seems. I can't really speak to 7 yet because we haven't seen it, but it seems like they're putting the focus a little more on Sydney. That makes a little more sense to do for a 7 and 8 because that's a character that the fans are a little more familiar with. But what I fear is that 7 is going to try to just completely do the pass the torch thing again, just like 4, just like 5 to Sydney's daughter, and we're focusing on her again. And that to me, if they did that, I just feel like we've done that movie twice already in this franchise. Why are we doing it again? But I don't know if we end up doing a 7 and an 8, if we locked into that and we have 2 movies on the way, that could be really cool. But I never felt that way with 5 and 6. 6 always felt like hey, we get to make this movie because 5 did so well. That's how that situation has always felt to me, especially after. Like just even if I wasn't covering this, even if I wasn't covering Scream 5, I'd still have that same reaction after watching how 5 wrapped up moving into 6. But yeah, I think just moving into the next thing here too, I really like the idea of a killer being drawn across 2 movies. Like I think that's something creative. That's something we haven't done yet. And Scream 7 is desperately in need of a new thing that it can tackle that this series hasn't done yet. So yes. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Great comments, man. And you're right. The way the 5 ends, it has such it has a finality to it. Like this is it. Like that story's done as far as that particular story. However, if you look at Scream 7, they also end the movie in a way that shows to me completion. Like there's Tara and Sam, basically, for all intents and purposes, they walk off into the sunset. They've conquered the demons. She put the mask down, and they're walking away. Like they're done. I thought that was a very nice ending for them. And of course, I don't like this fact that no one died in this movie. It was such a, they killed Dewey in 5 to raise the stakes. And what do we do in 6? We just drop them all down to the ground again. No one's killed. There's no risk factor like, oh my gosh, anyone can die. They took away what they built in 5. Having said that, it's a happy ending for everyone. Mindy's alive, doing jumping jacks in the theater 10 minutes after getting stabbed. Like she's okay. And then Terminator Chad, just got stabbed another 17 times, and he's okay. He's good. And then Sam and Tara walk off. So to me, that was a fitting ending. To me, it really felt like the Carpenter Chronicles, as I call them, the story of the Carpenter sisters was done. So I said all that to say, to me, Scream 7, they would have continued with Sam and Tara, obviously, is what they were going to do originally. But I think that with all that happened, this fresh quote start going back to the past with Nev and Gail, and I believe that we're going to see them at the forefront. I think we're going to see both of them, honestly, having a lot of screen time. And I hope that Gail, I can't believe that Kevin would bring Gail back in the form that she was in 5 and 6. Because she was like nothing like her old self. And the 6, they tried to make her a little bit more, but she was barely in the movie. So I hope we see Gail from Scream 1, Scream 2, from Scream 3, and 4 even. The Wes Craven version of Gail. And Sydney as well. So I think you're right. I mean, what are we doing with 7? Are we going to lead into the daughters taking over, which you just kind of touched on, that you didn't want to see happen? Or how is this going to end? Or do we get the cliffhanger that DM's talking about, and we won't know the answer till 8, right? So from my perspective, I think it's possible that they did get Nev locked in for 2 years, or for 2 movies, I should say. Obviously, I think it's possible. Did it happen? We'll have to wait and see. I guarantee you this. If we get an announcement 2 weeks after the movie comes out that Scream 8 has been renewed, we know. Remember when Scream 6 was announced like 2 or 3 weeks? I mean, the movie's still in the box office. And there's like, hey, guess what? Scream 6 greenlit. Because they already knew it was greenlit. It was already done. So anyway, we'll have to wait and see. Last thing here to comment on, the runtime. This is something else I would like to see. What is our longest Scream movie, Jake? 2 hours, and is it like 5 minutes? Scream 2, I think, 203 or something.
Didn't 6 beat it by like a couple of minutes, or am I wrong on that?
Oh,
it's like 2 minutes longer or something ridiculous.
Might be actually, yeah. Maybe
it's one of those though. It is Scream 2 or Scream 6. That's the long. I can't remember for the life of me, but yeah.
True. What do you think about a 2 hour and 15-minute Scream film? 2 hour and 20 minutes.
Every story has a different length that would be perfect to tell it. I think there are. I've seen continuations where I feel like there's just a lot of filler where I'm like that this could have been
right.
Like this could have been an hour. This should have been way longer. I feel that way about different films depending on the story. I think it all just comes down to what are they really setting up here in 7? Do they want to start a new trilogy with Sydney? In which case, maybe it does need to be longer. Maybe we do need to spend some more time actually setting all that up, especially considering how many characters are in this flick, man. I mean, I feel suffocated by how many characters are in Screams 5 and 6, especially. And I feel like if you really wanted to flesh that out and do basically the slasher epic that you should have done there with that many main characters, you should have made it longer.
Yes.
So I think there's an argument for 5 and 6 to have longer runtime. But with
agreed.
this one, with 7, I'm going to say, I hope it's longer just because of how many people are in it. But we also don't know if they're, tackling that via flashback or not or whatever. But I just hope we have a reason to be bringing back like literally every character who has some sort of, notoriety to them. I hope there's a reason for that and it's not just butts and seats.
Right. Yep. Agreed. All right. DM, thank you for the generous $20 super chat. That really helps the channel a great deal. Helps keep the lights on. It keeps the gas tank filled up. So I appreciate that so much. It's awesome. All right. Hollywood Guys coming in with a $5 super chat for us says, hello, Craven. Hello, Jake. If certain characters are back alive or dreams, will Scream 7 be a sequel to Scream 3 if we see Cotton and others? Would this be a sequel to Scream 3? Oh, you're talking about, I think if I'm correct, I believe, Jake, he's talking about basically going back in the timeline and going shifting over here Scream 3, and then instead of going to Scream 4, we're going here first, in between them, with a new sequel to Scream 3. Interesting. Well, I don't know. I mean, well, let's talk about this. What about Cotton? We hadn't talked about Cotton here yet. Do you think we'll get Cotton Weary in any of the flashbacks? Maureen, like seeing Cotton walk out of the house, right? Going to the car, remember?
Yeah, I think if we do, I think if we do the Maureen Prescott scene, you kind of need Cotton. You know, I feel like he's a really important element to that. And I also think, you know, we don't get it. I mean, there's like one shot of Cotton Weary in the original Scream. You know, what else was he? Can we get into a little more of his backstory there? I'd be into that. I mean, this feels like a Scream film that's trying to be for the fans. You know what I mean? It's trying to be for the people who've been here since day one. So that would be a fun thing to get into if we got enough room and time for it. Sure.
Yeah. Same here. I agree, Hollywood guy. It would, you know, if we start seeing a bunch of things going on with the Scream 3 timeline, hey, never say never. You just never know what they may do. But I think for me, it's more about the flashbacks, like Jake said, with going back to that first setup with Maureen. It would just be cool to see him walking out of the house, getting in the car and driving away. I mean, it would be really cool. And like you said, maybe we get, that's where Dewey comes in. Maybe we get some background info. Well, you know, where's Cotton from, and what does he do, and what is he, whatever. Just try to tie some more, or basically just give us new information about him. That would be really cool. So I'd be down with that. All right, I do see we got some more super chats, guys. I got a couple more. I'm going to get to you guys, but you know what? Before we do, we haven't played a clip, Jake, in a little while. So how about this? Instead of playing a crazy off the wall clip, which we love to do, how about we go spend a little bit of time in downtown Pine Grove, where we're going to be hanging out in Scream 7 with some actual location shots. What do you say, Jake? You up for it?
Yeah, run it.
Let's do it. Here we go, guys. Coming soon, next February, Pine Grove, Indiana. The setting for Scream 7. Heck yeah, man. Yeah. What do you think, Jake? Pine Grove.
You know, man, I love the location. I loved all the pictures that I've seen. It feels like we're back in a Woodsboro style setting that isn't just the same old town, you know. And I'm hoping the movie, in terms of tone, can reflect that.
Yes, and you know something else too. Whenever my source, you know, my buddy Eric, the Beard Entertainment, you know Eric well. Whenever he provided me all these exclusive images, one thing he told me about, because he was there obviously on site taking the pictures, and they brought out for us, there was a scene where one of the police cars was just going through not Times Square, but just the town square, and they had these huge bags of leaves that people were just dumping. It reminded me of like Halloween. Remember with John Carpenter? Yeah. They were all out there doing the leaves, and they were dumping these leaves with this fan blowing, just blowing these leaves all over town for that fall look. And I think that's, and he said even being there in person, even seeing the fan, it didn't matter. He said this felt like Woodsboro, even though it's not Woodsboro, but it has that same feeling that we got in the first Scream, and I'm excited, dude. I mean, it's good stuff. I'm so thankful that we got these images to share, uh, because just a sneak peek doesn't hurt you. It's not a spoiler. It's just here are the houses, here's some places,
Here's the
um,
vibe, Yeah,
the
I'm all
vibe.
about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
very good. Yes, that's right. It was Mr. Beer. That's right. It's the Woodsboro feel, the vibe, and definitely. All right. Jeff Hill with another super chat. Thank you so much. And then Mr. Beer super chat. We're gonna get to you next, and I'm excited to talk about it because I haven't talked about it with Jake yet. But Jeff says, "Do you think if they do a remnant scene of Maureen Prescott's death, did they bring back Cotton?" Um, so, well, we kind of just touched on that a little bit, right? So, if we do that flashback scene to Maureen Prescott's death, do you expect we'll see Leaf Schreiber or Leaf Schreiber? I never say it right. Leaf Schreiber back as Cotton. I know we kind of just talked about this, but I want to give Jeff his money's worth because he sent a super chat in on this. So tell me again your thoughts here. Do you think they're going to do that, or you think they're going to go that far?
I hope they have another surprise still left up their sleeves. You know what I mean? Like they've announced like everything else, so it would be cool to be surprised by at least one character on screen. So I hope so. I really hope so.
I do too, and this would be one that I do hope they just managed to keep it under wraps. Don't let it get out. I think I do say, like I mentioned earlier, Billy, I think it's going to be a surprise for people. He's going to show up, and I know there's been so much rumors about Jill, could be, but Cotton Weary. I mean, honestly, I'd be like, yes, like to see him back because I was a huge Cotton fan. Like in Scream 2, Jake, he's one of my favorite characters in that movie, and I was rooting for him all the way.
Really?
I was, believe it or not. Seriously, I know he was. Yeah, he's got a little slimy side. Okay, I'm going to admit that.
Yeah.
But the guy just wanted his day in the lights. He wanted his day with fame. He wanted to be heard. That's all he wanted at the end of the day. Now his tactics, maybe not the best. I especially when you got somebody at gunpoint. And he's like, but that Barbara Walters interview sounded pretty good right now, huh, Sid? I mean, not the best way to get it, but I do love though how it ended with how Sydney, like, you know what, if you need to talk to a hero, you should be talking to Cotton Weary. And he's like, because he was walking off by himself, and then all of a sudden he stopped. You know how it ended, and
yeah,
I thought that was an amazing ending, and I was so happy for him. So I guess I'm saying all that to say, if I see Cotton Weary in this movie, I'm gonna really be happy about it. I'm gonna be happy.
Cotton. Final note, because wow, you got the cogs turning up here now. I'm thinking about Scream 2 now. My thing about Cotton is I would actually go so far as to call him a secondary antagonist in that movie. I think he's honestly I think
it's true.
The thing I like about Scream 2 the most is I almost feel like it's the closest we've ever gotten to the bad guys winning. With Cotton Weary kind of, it almost feels like he wasn't gonna save her unless she agreed. You know what I mean? And then so I almost feel as if that's the darkest ending we've gotten to a Scream film so far, and I kind of it fascinates me to talk about it. So Cotton Weary, really interesting character, really well written. I don't know if I'm rooting for him though. I love him. He's slimy, so I like him for that.
He is. No, he's definitely got a side to him that's not very good. Is not a very good guy. So you're 100%. Of course, what does he say to Sydney? He's like, "Now, Sid, I want you to know that I would have never, I think he was about to say, I would have never shot you," and then Gail jumps up so he doesn't finish his sentence, but. He was backpedaling quick on the optics. For sure. Oh, Jeff, thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. And here we go. The subject I've been dying to talk to you about. And I'm so glad we got the super chat goal for overtime now because we're in extension time. We got 20 more minutes, guys, and we have a hard stop. But Marco Beltrami is back, and he was like almost at the very top of my wish list, Jake. But Kevin Williamson, he did it. We've got him back. I am beyond stoked. And Mr. Beer with a $5 super chat says, yes, Beltrami. Hope we get some classic Scream sounds like Backdoor Gale, Back to School, the original Scream. And you got Sydney's Lament, which is just iconic now. Jake, we haven't talked about it. Tell me, are you pumped, dude?
I'm definitely pumped. I'm definitely. I think one of the most iconic horror scores is that original Scream. So to hear that's coming back, that's something I my thing about Screams 5 and 6, I think 5 is my least favorite score, but I think my thing about it is like if you close your eyes and you listen to it, like, and you just showed that to any horror fan, they just wouldn't be able to tell that was Scream. If you put on the original, you know what I mean? It's like that Scream, you know? There's nothing about 5 that stands out to me. It's just horror movie music. But 6, I like a little more. There's a little more, like there's some melodies that I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. That through the shit or whatever, that's cool. But I miss the original soundtrack. You know what I mean? I really do. I feel like that's something you just don't mess with when it comes to an iconic series like this. So I think Beltrami, this is a big win for 7, in my opinion.
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. I am on top of the world since that announcement. Well, since we saw all of his posts on Instagram, it's like saying, yeah, I'm back there. And you got that one, are you started to get, have you began writing? He's like, no, they're still editing the movie. I mean, it's just fantastic. So Marco is a big win, guys, out there. This is a huge win for us as Scream fans. And I just can't wait to see what he brings. I've been telling everybody, I'm like, I would pre-order a soundtrack of the score if they would have it. I would like order it right now, a year ahead of time. I don't care. I would do it because I am going to be getting that soundtrack ASAP when it's out. Because I just can't wait to hear the music. What's the score? What are the sounds? What's the atmosphere? So I love it. Mr. Beer, thank you so much for your super chat. Love you guys. And one more we got coming in here, Jake. A Hollywood guy was sending in $5. Thank you for helping the channel out, Hollywood guy. I just don't want to see Scream take the Saw route with later movies as prequels or different versions. Well, Jake, what are your? I know you like the Saw franchise, and what do you think about this comparison, our potential comparison?
I just feel like they're two different franchises. You know what I mean? Like I think Saw is a movie that it's a movie franchise, I should say, that just there's certain characters that I just feel like you need to really make this one work. And even then I really enjoyed Spiral from the Book of Saw, but it was just missing something without Tobin Bell. You need if your antagonist isn't there in an iconic horror franchise, it's hard to get into it as much as some sort of reinvention, I think. And Spiral was close, but I just feel like it didn't hit it entirely for me. So I loved Saw X, and it really worked because of the route that it took, but it was a big swing, and I could totally see that movie failing had it not been executed the way it was by the people that understand Saw so well. Director Kevin Greutert was a great choice for that story in particular. Yes, it was. Especially with its similarities with Saw 6. Scream, on the other hand, I think we need to let the Scream franchise breathe after 7. Like, I think that we are getting... it seems like every movie since 5 has gotten like even more clustered with the characters. Like there's like every movie I feel like we're adding more characters and more things happening. And I'm like, we just need what we need for a Scream after 7 is just like a back to basics, simple plot. Just have a couple of characters. Ghostface pops up in a new town. Eventually there is not going to be any more story to tell with Sidney Prescott. And I think we just have to accept that as Scream fans. I love Sidney. Great character. Greatest final girl of all time. I'll die on that hill. But I would hate for her to just keep coming back to a point where it's just diminishing returns and there's just nothing left to write. I mean, we're at the point where she has a kid. In most stories, this is where it ends for the main character. character. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, happy ending,
Right.
walking into the sunset. You know, there's no more story at that point, and that's okay. Scream can move on without Sydney, in my opinion. We can have ghost faces pop up in other countries, in other states, in other situations.
That's true. Good.
I'm quite excited to get to that, because I think at some point, and maybe we're already at that point, Scream needs a fresh slate. You know, we need to wipe it clean.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm just an old school dinosaur. I hear what you're saying, and it does make sense. Like, I totally get it. But I just want to see Sydney as a part of the franchise for as long as she wants to be. Now, it does not mean she has to be the main character. I'm willing to like compromise, if you will, and have someone else be the lead character, but still have Sydney present in some way, even if it's like for mentorship or helping. I don't know. Like I say, I haven't written anything out like a script or anything like that. So I'm just saying, Jake, I want her to be around. And I know that you mentioned you do not, or you're hoping they don't go with the route of her daughter becoming the new final girl for like maybe another 3 or 4 movies. And I get that too, but I also see, like, if they did do that to some degree, at least Sydney would still be around. She would be there for support or help, right?
And if they want, dude, if they set up some new story in the future where Sydney could come back, rock on. But I love some things about Screams 5 and 6. And had they just completely went all in on those characters, I feel like we would maybe like them as much as Sydney, Gale, and Dewey, but we don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I love, dude, I am you know how I feel about Screams 5 and 6. I feel like they're just as good as the rest of the films, but they have problems. And the biggest thing is there's no room to breathe. Like, it feels like every single moment of that film is being sucked up to do something. And you go back and you watch that original Scream, there's none of that. I mean, that's why the original Scream is so great. It lets itself like just build this atmosphere, this creepy town, and these great characters are all set up so well. And they have time to do that. And I feel like they didn't have time to give the Carpenter sisters that build up that they needed, because they were doing so much with the legacy characters. Now imagine if we could just make that movie, that, you know what I mean? Like, with whatever kind of character you want to build up, you know, in this universe. I want to see them bring characters into this franchise again that are great, and you need time to do that. You know what I mean? Sidney Prescott is only so great because she's had multiple movies where she's been the focus, and if you want the series to continue, I think we have to do that with new characters as well.
Yeah, and I do hear you, man. I do hear you. It's a logical, it makes sense argument, and you know what? I before I start thinking too far ahead, I just want to enjoy the moment of Scream 7, right? Because I know I got Sydney back. I got her back for at least one more, and right there, front and center. And I just have to say, guys, thank you, Hollywood Guy, for your super chat once again. I wasn't sure, Jake, if you were okay with breaking the news, but you know what? It's been broken in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, now we can officially say, I should have just messaged you in the private chat because I wanted to say something. Guys, Killjoy Jake is no longer on the market. Guys, he is officially engaged to Madison. Madison, welcome to the chat. Glad you're here. And yes, you are engaged. Jake, tell us, give us some mushy stuff real quick for everyone who's going to be like, oh, we all want that. We need a piece of that.
Well, this is my better half, Madison. She is wonderful. Also a horror movie fan, and things are great. I popped the question the other day. It's weird. I'm not nervous to talk about horror movies in front of people, but this, like, I'm choking up. Like, I'm totally bomming. It's hilarious. Bro. No, but I love Madison to death, and we just got engaged, and hopefully we're doing like a little. I'm taking a break from YouTube next week, and we're just gonna hang out. We're just gonna be engaged and hanging out together. So it's gonna be fun.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's something to look forward to. Even though I know it's I know the split brain, where it's like channel and then life, and just like they're always trying to go in which way. But sometimes you just got to do that. You just seriously have to do it. So I'm glad you're doing that. That's awesome, man. Enjoy your week next week. I won't bother you next week, man. I won't call you or text you next week. That's special time. And Madison, I'm glad you're here on the channel. Welcome. Come back anytime. Love to have you on live streams. Of course, I'm sure in your free time, you're probably like, as much as Jake streams, you probably get tired of live streams. So, but if you ever want to join, you're welcome to be here. Glad to have you.
Her and I are actually building up a gaming channel right now. It's been a ton of fun. So
yes. And you know what? We've been putting your link to the channel, and I want to tell everybody now, please go and subscribe to Killjoy Jake's channel. We've been the moderators, Julie and everyone has been putting it in the chat. And I saw someone just a minute ago, I think it was Jeff, said I just subscribed to Jake. So that's awesome. Guys, please do. That's what I'm asking all of you to do. We got like 60 people here, basically. If you are here and you are not a subscriber to Killjoy Jake, and guys, if you could post that link for me again, Julie or Val or May, if you've not yet subscribed, do so for me right now. All right, please do it right now. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go subscribe before we continue. The stream is on hostage. I'm putting it under lock and key. There it is, guys. 30 seconds. We're not talking scream. You got to go subscribe to my buddy, Killjoy Jake. He's an amazing guy. He is just a kind-hearted guy. I can't tell you. I've had a lot of conversations with him over the years, Jake. We've talked many times about many things, and you're just an outstanding guy. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate our friendship that we have and the relationship that we have, buddy. So I'm going to get mushy because it's true. And I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So I love you, buddy. I really mean that. I do. In front of everyone here, I love you, man. And I appreciate you. And thank you for being a part of my life. Seriously, man.
I love you too, man. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, man. It's really a pleasure. And your gaming channel also, thank you, May. Tell us real quick, man, in your 1 minute elevator pitch, tell us about your channel, your new channel.
Well, I love horror movies, so why not also do horror games is kind of the thing. And Madison and I have always loved video games, and we've always just wanted to have a gaming channel. The thing that was like a thing growing up, like everyone was blowing, that was oddly the rock stars of our generation. You know what I mean? It was like people are getting paid to play video games. That's so cool, So right? we're pursuing that dream with this channel. So check it out. We're almost to monetization over there. I think we're at like 730 subs. So we're not too far away from it. If you guys could check that channel out, it would mean the world to me, especially with Madison and I just getting engaged. We plan on building this channel for years to come. So it would be really cool. It means a lot to me with that people are checking this channel out. So
that's awesome, bro. Guys, please go right now. All of you, please go click the link, hit subscribe. Because we support each other in this community, Jake. That's what we do. We help each other. We do the best we can to lift each other up and to help your channels grow, our channels grow collectively. And so please, guys, go subscribe to his gaming channel so that him and Madison can have a great engagement. You want to make their engagement great, even better than it is now, which is probably through the roof already, but go subscribe. Wouldn't that be nice to see 10, 20, 30 people jump in there and get you closer to that monetization, brother, because you deserve it. You work hard. And I'm sure Madison is working right there just as hard as you. So you deserve it, man. You deserve it all. And Madison said, hey, as long as me and Jake aren't streaming on the gaming channel or regular channel, I'll be here. Fantastic. All right. You are now in the family, the community family, Madison, over here. So I'm glad to have you. Paula says, I'm subbed. Very good. Okay, good, guys. I'm liking it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Julie's wanting a reunion. That's how, it's funny. That's how Julie found us. Was through the
really?
Lethal Collective. Yes, she was Lethal Collective.
No way.
She was on every live stream.
Listen, Craven, I hate to give you crap after you just after all that sweetness, but I did text you guys like maybe a month ago saying we should all have a little, all this Scream talk is happening. We should all get together, and it was crickets. It was crickets in the group chat.
It's true. You know what, buddy? I'm gonna try to find that thread. I know I still have it. I'm gonna try to find that thread, or I'll just start my own thread to echo in his ears. Hey guys, you know what? Jake suggested it. It's been too long. Let's just do it. Date and time. That's all we got to figure out. And we'll just all of a sudden appear live. The Lethal Collective reunion show. I mean, dude, yeah, we got to do it, man.
I think, for like when Scream really starts getting going, I think it would just be so cool to do like a weekly stream again. You know what I mean? Why not?
Yeah, man. Seriously, it's something we should really think about. Really should. I agree, Jake. I agree, man. I'm with you on this. So we just need to chat with the fellas. Gotta get hold of Fate and Knight and figure this thing out. 734. There you go. There's the number. 734. Val just subscribed. There we go. Thank you guys. That's what I love to see. It makes me so happy when you guys Super Tenor just sub. There we go. Let's help our brother out. He's an amazing guy. What a friend of mine. And I know you love him. Who doesn't love Killjoy, Jake? Come on, man. Please. Oh, Kay says I miss the Lethal. Oh, thank you, Kay. I know.
I miss it too.
I know. I do. I miss it too. I mean, I honestly do. And Val's happy. Yeah. We're gonna make it happen. I think we just need to make it happen. Stella to subscribe. There we go, Jake. The subs keep coming.
The best part, Stella, you don't need to know anything about games. We also know nothing about games, but we're trying.
You're figuring it out, and I love it.
We're certainly figuring it out. Yeah.
Oh gosh, guys, we're about to wind down, but hey, a super chat just came in. Oh, is it a super chat? Yes, it is. So I'm gonna take care of Jeff, and Jeff just also gifted another membership. Oh, that's awesome, brother. Yes, thank you. Growing the community, man. I'm telling you, this is so amazing. Jeff, I appreciate that. And whoever received Jeff's gift, please. Oh, Vis. Okay, Vis. All right, Vis, if you're here still, please shout out to Jeff for that membership that you got 30 days for free. And then you can stick around and be a part of the Cravenite family. All right, Jeff sent in one more super chat. Question for Jake. If he ever play the Dark Picture series of games, one of my favorites is Until Dawn. Until Dawn's awesome.
I love Until Dawn. I would love to play that again on the gaming channel. A great game because you can just keep replaying it. I mean, there's 1,000 different endings or whatever, a bunch of different choices that you can make. So yeah, one day for sure, Jeff.
Yes, that's so good. Jeff, thanks for the super chat, man. Much appreciated. And I think, Jake, when you get to the point where you can get memberships, I highly suggest you have a tier that they can suggest game titles.
That would be fun. That would be cool.
A suggestion. That would be pretty cool. All right. Let me see if I got anything else here pending, and I'm making sure all the super chats were covered. And I always promise you that. All right. Okay. Very good. So, guys, we're going to start to wrap up right now. Jake, tell us what's coming up on Killjoy Jake's channel. We got any new streams plans after your week off, or before maybe, or videos for that matter?
Well, we're currently counting down to Final Destination Bloodlines, which I'm very excited for. I love this franchise. It's one of my favorites from the early thousands, and I just can't wait to see it return.
Yes.
So we've been every Friday we've been counting that down on stream. Usually at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We have a stream happening this week too. We're 2 weeks away this Friday, which is so exciting. So stop on by if you want to talk a little Final Destination. And then, next up is probably I Know What You Did Last Summer talk. So it's going to be a lot of some shifting focuses here, but it's a lot of fun, like late 90s, early thousands horror talk over there.
I love that. That's awesome. Scott, just subscribe to you. Kay, just subscribe to you. There we go, guys. Thank
you.
y'all.
Thank you.
It's awesome. Val says, "Great having you, Jake." Absolutely, guys. So it's always such a pleasure to have you here, buddy. We don't do it enough. Let's be honest. We don't do it enough. However, something's going to be coming to your mailbox in a couple of weeks.
There sure is. There's something on the track, one might say.
Yes, it's coming down the track to you. And guys, Jake and I'll talk offline, get some dates together, but we will be streaming on each other's channels again very soon. And Jake's going to have something very special to model for you. And I cannot wait. It's going to look great. It's going to look awesome on you, bro.
Don't lose bets out there, kids. No, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
Oh, all right. You're up to 740. So there we go. Got a little push there, a little push up.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that.
So nice. All right, guys. Well, listen, this has been a blast. Jake, I want to see you backstage here in just a moment. But to the chat, this has been so much fun. I want to thank everyone who donated to the channel through Super Chats, gifting memberships tonight. Thank you so much for that. I want to thank Julie, Val, and Mayanne for moderating the chat. You did an amazing job, as you always do. I'm so thankful for your hard work, and I appreciate each one of you. And to all of my Cravenites and patrons, thanks for your continuing monthly support. You guys are making this thing work. You're helping this channel grow. You're helping this train keep going down the tracks, literally here on the channel. So your impact is huge, all right? I appreciate you. And to anyone else who hears my voice that's not a member or a subscriber yet, I should say, hit that subscribe button before you leave. I'd love to have you join the community, be a subscriber to the channel, get all my content through videos and live streams and interviews. Don't want to miss it. So would love to have you on board to be a part of the community as well. And also, please smash that thumbs up button as we're heading out if you haven't done so yet. Jake, I'll see you in a moment. But for everyone else, we're signing off. Good night, everybody.